Welcome to yet another video review on our YouTube channel. This time about a new Kahles K318i. In recent years, Kahles somehow managed to introduce all their new optics always on SHOT Show, and this one is no exception to that rule. So this scope was introduced at SHOT Show 2018. In contrary to all other European manufacturers which mostly introduced new optics at IVA in Nuremberg. It was highly anticipated scope because I personally had been in contact with Kahles over the years, every year on all the shows, and I always ask them, when will you produce something with a 50mm objective lens but with a little bit more modern design and a bigger zoom ratio than their 3:12 model. Let's be honest, 3:12 was a really good scope, but it always had at least for me, it had a feeling like it's only a hunting scope beefed up, a little bit of bigger tube and so on, and made tactical. Well, this model which we have here now, it's a truly tactical scope. So it has that feel that it was designed from scratch to be tactical. It is completely new, even though if you can see the turrets, you see that they are very similar to their K624i. They also introduced a new scope, that one on EVA, to be honest, 5-25, which will have the same turrets like this. So what's new? It has a 5x zoom factor, so it goes from 3.5 to 18, and it has a 50mm objective lens. As you can see, the name itself, it's a little bit confusing because they say K318i, and you could think it's a 6x zoom, so it goes from 3 to 18. No, in reality it goes from 3.5 onwards, and that brings a little bit narrow field of view. It has only 9.25 or 9.5 of meters of field of view at 100 meters. I also think this is the only minus of the entire scope. I think that the field of view could have been a little bit wider. Optically, it is superb. It's really bright. It has no tunneling effect. It's really sharp and really easy and nicely to use. Nice to use. Also, the eye box, it's really nice. This is also what we expect from Kahles. First of all, the Kahles is in business since 1898, so it is the oldest company producing graphoscopes on the market at the moment. It's almost like you could say they are the pioneers from that time onwards. So this is the first thing. The second thing is that you expect a high quality product from an Austrian manufacturer. From an Austrian made scope. They always produced high quality scopes, so this one is no exception to that rule. It's waterproof, it's filled with dry nitrogen, and it's shockproof to any caliber. Even on 50 BMG you can use this scope without a problem. So as you can see, like all the previous scopes, it's fully metal. Even the magnification ring is completely made out of metal. It has a small throw lever on top. The only rubber part on the whole scope is the eyepiece, where it's a fast focus eyepiece where you can set your diopter setting. The other thing which is really special with this scope is the size. It's only 31 centimeters long, and this gives me a feeling like, you know, Schmidt & Bender did a couple of years ago the ultra short series of scopes. So they have 5-20 by 50 ultra short and 3-20 by 50 ultra short. And then a race started almost, who will make a shorter scope, because Schmidt & Bender says we are producing the ultra short scopes. But now the first was IOR 3-25 Lutas, which was shorter than the ultra short, and now this one, which is unbelievably short. When you put it on a rifle, it's just like how small it is. It's really amazing, and I think this is one of the most unique selling points of this scope. Because all tactical scopes in the recent years, they were all big, bulky, heavy and clumsy. This one is like it's really like a small, nice, slim, but it gives you all the performance you need. If you're not really into close range and to have a really wide field of view, and you're using it all the way, let's say from 4 or 5 onwards, it's a perfect scope. It's short, it's small, it's not even too heavy, it's 900 grams. It's not light, but it's not over 1 kilogram. So it has a 34mm tube, and it's really elegant because it's so short. So in this aspect, I would say it's a perfect scope for DMR rifles or something similar, where you are searching for a truly high quality mil tactical scope, but you wish to have it in a compact dimension. This is your choice. Definitely the best choice on the market at the moment. If you go through the turrets, you see the illumination. It's very easy to use, so it has continuous intensity levels from basically when it's turned off all the way to the maximum. It's only low light usable, so it's very dim, which is normal, but you can really fine-tune it so that you get a proper intensity level. Then you have the parallax. Parallax is on top, so you can use it either with right hand or left hand. It clicks on 100 meters and it goes down all the way to 25 meters, and on the other side it goes all the way to infinity. You can see the distances are marked all the way, I think, to 1000 meters, then they go to infinity. As you can see, there is really a lot of travel, so the parallax can be really fine-tuned, it can be nicely set correctly. It works great. Then you have the Windage Turret, which clicks on 0. It works very nice. And then this new system of Kahles, as you can see, the outer surface rotates freely. We have a video about this also on our YouTube channel from Eva. This is somehow in between locking turrets and non-locking turrets, so that it helps you not to accidentally move the turret, since it just turns freely. It also helps you when, with the scopes which have locking turrets, there can be a problem that you forgot that they're locked, and in hectic tactical situation you can just overforce it and break the lock. So this is somehow in between. They have a special name for this system, and I would say it's a good midpoint between locking turrets and non-locking turrets. It has its advantages, especially in hectic situations where you might forget that your turrets are locked. You can still normally use them, and they do help. This does help that the turret doesn't get moved accidentally. It's only featured on Windage Turret, not on Illumination, and not on the Elevation Turret. The Elevation Turret is already, as we know, so it has really nice clicks. It offers 0 stops, 3 clicks below 0. It can be nicely reset with these small screws on top. Really easy when you unlock these screws, when you untighten them, then it rotates freely. And it's a double turn turret. In the first turn you have 16 mils. Now you can see the turn indicator pops out. It's really nice because it's mechanical, you can even feel it in the dark. And then in the second turn you go all the way to 30 mils. So it has really extremely a lot of elevation. Also the windage is crazy. It also has, I think, 30 mils of windage. So really a lot of elevation, more than anyone would really actually need. At least I think so. But it is a trend in the last couple of years that people shoot at extreme distances. I know 5 years, 6 years ago it was 1000 meters or 1500 meters was extreme. Now people are shooting over 3000 meters. So, okay, maybe someone really actually needs that much of elevation. The reticles, all reticles in these rifle scopes are in first focal plane. You can choose different styles, similar like Horos. Then they have a couple of reticle styles which are unique only to Kahles. Basically the same range like in 6 to 24 model. All reticles are illuminated, some of them in entire reticle, others only in the central part. It depends what you like most. With the turrets, I would say that a really good point is that the illumination works great, and combined with the high light transmission rate for which Kahles is famous for, and that you can set the intensity level really precisely, this scope can be used also in low light environments, so this is a big plus. You can always combine the illumination intensity with the lighting conditions which you are situated in. What else? With the scope you get a nice patch. This is something new. You get a patch for a uniform or backpack. You get a neoprene cover, which is interesting because you get no other lens caps. But Kahles offers the whole variety of different lens caps from Tenebrex and other manufacturers. You can also find them on our webpage. You get a user manual and a warranty. Warranty is 10 years, and they provide service also after this 10 years. As you probably know, Kahles is well known for their great service in Vienna. So even if you have a really old Kahles, there is a great chance that even if it's 30 years old, they are still able to repair it. I believe that the situation will not change with this model. So even after 10 years, you will still have a service where you will be able to ship your scope at if something happens, and they will repair it. So if I make a short summary, this is a nice addition to the Kahles line, a true mil-mil tactical scope. They made great success with K318i, and I believe that this 318i will follow this success. I also think that the 5-25 model will also be equally successful. The great plus of this rifle scopes are the turret's design. It is really nice. The parallax design, because you are able to use it equally easy if you are right-handed or left-handed. And what is also true, that Kahles is the only manufacturer at the moment, at least, where you can choose to have windage either on the left side or on the right side. So you can always change when ordering where do you wish to have the illumination and where do you wish to have the windage. I think that the biggest plus of this rifle scope is its size. With 31 centimeters, it is extremely short and compact. This is also the thing for which I think most of the people will buy this scope. I also like the new system, which is somehow one step between or towards locking turrets. This thing works quite well, even though I personally would still like a normally locking turrets feature on this scope. This is, I think, the only thing which is missing in the entire design. The price point, it's 3,200 euros. It depends also on the reticle. Some reticles are a little bit more expensive, so it's quite an expensive scope. So Kahles is going up a little bit with prices, especially because they have a great success with K318i. So all this new coming scopes, which are upgrading the already established models, are a little bit priced a little bit steeper. But on the other hand, you're getting a really supreme high quality Austrian made scope. I do think where are the points where some improvements could have been done. One is locking turrets. The second is bigger zoom factor. 5 times zoom factor, okay, in this compact form it's enough, but still 3 to 18 would be nicer. And with a 3-time magnification, the field of view would be much bigger. So I think that the other minus on this scope, minor, really small minus, is the field of view. It could have been a little bit bigger, but on the other hand, most of the time these scopes are used from 10 upwards, not below. So it's not such a big issue. I also think that the name is a little bit misleading, because 3-18i, it actually implies that this is a 6 times zoom scope, when in reality it's 5 times zoom. I think I mentioned everything. If I forgot something, please use comments or send us an email. If you like the video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and see you next time.